Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that Greenlight Maine.
Good evening. Welcome to Greenlight Maine. I'm your host, Julene Gervais. Thank you so much for joining us. The journey to the $100,000 prize began with 26 contestants. The competition has been tough with so many entrepreneurs and small businesses on the rise in Maine. We now have 13 finalists, and each one of them get their own mentoring round to help them figure out how to bring their business to the next level. Tonight's show features one of our finalists. I'd like to welcome David Stone from Forager.
Thank you.
We also have a great panel of mentors we'll be talking to in a little bit. But first, congratulations. Thanks for coming back. And what's been going on with you?
That's great. Well, good evening, and thanks for having me back, Jolene. It's a real pleasure. On the Forager front, we broke through $1 million in gross transaction volume through our platform. So that's pretty exciting. And on the personal entrepreneurial front, the company that I started in Portland 7 years ago just sold for $175 million, which I think might be the largest single tech exit in the history of the state.
Wow, impressive. Well, I remember you did such an awesome job on your pitch. And for the sake of the mentors who might not have seen it, and for you folks at home, we're going to show it again. So here's a look.
Thank you. Food is the largest industry in the world, and it's undergoing profound change, driven by consumers who want to eat healthier, fresher, and more local. Local food is moving from a niche market to a very large market. After a long decline of independent farms, we're seeing a resurgence. In fact, in Maine, 1,000 new farms have been started in the last 10 years, mostly by people under 35 years of age. Forager is at the center of this sea change. I'm a successful entrepreneur. I co-founded CashStar, one of Maine's most successful tech companies that issued $2 billion last year in value. I catalyzed the change from plastic to digital gift cards. Now I'm turning my attention to helping the market shift to local food.
And I'm Michael, a recent graduate of Bowdoin College, and I joined Forager a little over a year ago because, like for many of my friends in my generation, its mission to make local food more widely available for everyone really resonated with me. So let's talk about local food. Local food market is very large and growing very fast. It reached $15 billion last year, and it's growing at 25% every year. 64% of the consumers say they will switch grocers to buy in-season local produce.
Yet local food is only 3% of our total national consumption.
What's holding us back?
The sourcing process for wholesalers and grocers is extremely complex. If I'm a grocer or wholesaler and I'm sourcing from a single distributor, it works pretty well. If I'm working with 20, 30, or 40 independent farms, it's woefully inefficient, expensive, and time-consuming, costing up to 10% of my total food costs.
It simply cannot scale, so enter Forager. Forager on the front end can streamline the ordering process by bringing together all the farms and suppliers into one e-commerce platform, so wholesale buyers can place orders to multiple farms in just a few clicks. And on the back end, we digitize the receiving, invoicing, and payment process, therefore saving up to $20 per order by reducing times. And one of our buyers saved up to 8% in their costs in local sourcing.
So we've done really well since we launched the company commercially just 4 months ago. We now have 14 distributors and grocers on the platform, over 100 farmers and suppliers across Maine and New Hampshire. We've done $600,000 of local sourcing through the platform. I expect we'll do $1 million this year. We'll likely do $10 million next year. And it's going fantastic. So I'm going to wrap up. It's a big market. It's a really important market. We're seeing great adoption of our product. We're solving a real problem. I'm a very successful entrepreneur, as you may know. I've raised $1 million so far. We need more money so we can expand and make a real difference. And we can put Maine back on the map. We were once real leaders in agriculture and agriculture, and we can become a hub for local food and agricultural technology, bring back great jobs, and bring a lot of money into the state. So let's do it together.
I liked how you said putting Maine back on the map, because you're really changing agriculture and farming in Maine and beyond.
Yeah, we're really, a mission-based company trying to change the way we source our food.
Sure. And what's been happening in the last 6 months?
Well, as I said, we broke through $1 million, which was our goal. We've expanded to 2 other states and signed a fairly large retailer in Burlington, Vermont, kind of the Whole Foods of Burlington. We were recognized by Forbes as one of 6 under-the-radar startups that is likely to become a household name, so it's a real honor. Raised a bit more money, and things are going pretty well.
So you're off to a great start. Okay, so now it's time to introduce our panel of mentors from around the Maine business community, and we're just going to do that by their first name only and reveal later on, because a good idea can come from anybody, any field of expertise, and that's why we talk about this later on in the show. So first we have Christy.
Hello, it's so nice to be here. I'm really excited to hear a little bit more about your business.
Next up, Brian. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to learning more about your business and seeing what we can do to help you grow.
And finally, welcome Jamie.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be here and to meet you. And food is near and dear to my heart, so I'm really interested in your business.
Thank you.
Okay, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to take a dive into David's business with Forager and see what he needs to really grow this company even more. Stay with us.
Greenlight Maine would like to thank the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development, the Maine DECD, helping businesses and communities prosper.
When starting up my business, Oysters, I was awash in legal questions and concerns. But the Pretty Flaherty team made sure that Oysters is built on a strong legal foundation, so I can focus on serving the best Maine oysters anywhere, anytime.
At Pretty Flaherty, we partner with our clients to pursue innovation. Our business group is passionate about providing strategic legal guidance to entrepreneurs like Lucas through every stage of business development.
Pretty Flaherty is a proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
Are you trying to increase sales? At Dream Local Digital, we've been helping businesses using Facebook, Google, and other online tools for over 8 years. We're experts at helping small businesses because we work with them nationwide.
Dream Local publicizes the important part of me and what I stand for and what Archers is about.
We'd love to help you grow your business as well. Give us a call today.
Are you an entrepreneur? Do you have a new business or a great new product? Greenlight Maine is now accepting submissions for Season 4. Visit our website for more information.
For almost 25 years, MaineBiz has been providing business news, information, and analysis for business owners and C-level executives in Maine. From Fort Kent to Kittery, MaineBiz serves the decision makers of Maine across multiple channels, including its flagship print digital publication, website, events, daily report, real estate insider, and weekly newsletter. Let MaineBiz help your business succeed. Inform, engage, connect.
Please join us to find vital information on our website at greenlightmaine.com and be a part of our vibrant community on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Together, we're building Maine's future, one dream at a time.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We are here having a mentor round with one of our finalists, David Stone from Forager, and you're going to share with the panel your biggest growth challenge.
Thank you, Jolene. Like any new technology, particularly in this market, getting adoption and repeated use is our biggest challenge. We are selling or trying to convert farmers who aren't necessarily technologically interested in being, as they sometimes say, all teched up. And we're working with grocers who also aren't necessarily really technologically savvy. So getting them to use our platform, adopt it, and change behaviors that are entrenched is no easy task. That's our biggest challenge.
Okay. That is a big challenge for sure. And how do you get the farmers to engage with your company? So let's kick off the questions with you, Christy.
Sure. Can you tell me a little bit more about what the farmers are expected to do on the technology front? Is it simply a matter of signing up with you? Do they have to upload product images? Can you tell me a little bit more about what the expectations are?
Yeah, Christy, that's a good question. So the majority of farmers, particularly the younger ones, and there's more and more younger ones. In fact, in Maine, 35% of the farms that have been started by women under 35, so that's pretty cool. Many of them send an email on Sunday night, and often twice or 3 times a week with their product lists, either Gmail or MailChimp, and they list their 10, 15, 20 products at the price, and then the buyer has to then sort through 15, 20 emails on Monday morning and then respond to each and every one individually. So they're already using email. There are some that aren't. There are some that don't have phones. So what we simply do is we give them a very simple web interface where they can upload their product list. We don't require images because we feel like asking them to do too much is going to be a barrier. So it's relatively easy, but still, it takes some work.
Ryan.
It seems like you have a couple of layers of challenges in dealing with the industry. So you have an industry, an agricultural industry that is not tech savvy in general. You also have people who are working in the industry that might not be familiar with the technology, might have that fear. Then you also have the benefit. Right. What's going to be the outcome of using it? So what process have you used to try to educate people on the end benefit and the value proposition?
It's a really good question, Brian. So we've done a number of tactics based on some of my experience. Some have been successful, not all of them have worked. We've relied on a lot of press and media to spread the word and build a brand image. We've established a really good, what's called a reference account in Portland, where we did a case study where they saved about 60 hours a week in labor, and farmers that were active on the platform increased their sales by 11%, so it's real hard data. We've hired a dedicated customer service training person. We didn't have one before, and that's made a big difference. And we're making progress, but there's still a lot of challenges around changing the behavior in this market segment.
A lot of layers, right? Okay, Jamie.
David, I'm interested in how you're reaching out to the producers and the growers. You mentioned you're getting a lot of press. Are you doing direct outreach, and what resources are you using to reach out? And what, if any, are the sticky points for the producers that maybe, why are they resistant maybe to coming on to your program?
So, yeah, thanks, Jamie. Those are thoughtful questions, too. So I think you asked me 3 questions. Let's see if I got them all. I think I got them all right. I'm not sure I got them all, so correct me if I'm wrong. So
outreach first.
The outreach,
yeah.
What resources we're using.
And barriers.
And barriers. So outreach, so our strategy, and giving away some of our strategic tactics, anyway, has been to rely on the wholesaler or the grocer. Most of what we're focused on initially is digitizing the existing relationships, because that then gives us a network without us having to reach out and acquire them independently. Yep. So the grocers invite their suppliers onto the platform. Okay. It's not a requirement, so it's an ask, and that's what we do. And then we follow up with a phone call or an email, and we have an online sign-up solution. The second is we've done a little bit of work with the Maine Organic Farmers Association, and last but a little with Maine Farmland Trust, and then just done some community events as well, and getting out and doing things like this to generate interest and make people aware of what we're doing. And lastly, the barriers. I'll break it down into 3. Right. So, and having said that, we get about 60 to 70% of the suppliers to participate over time, but it takes time. So one barrier is sort of apprehension and fear, like, are we a middleman? Are we trying to come between the buyer and the farmer? Who are we? Another barrier is, they're technologically fearful, anxious, and they're not. And this isn't a knock on anybody in any way.
Sure.
This is not what they do. Their computer skills aren't very good. And then there's a small percentage of them that they just, for whatever reason, they don't want to do it. They don't feel they need it. So those are the 3 kind of core barriers.
The This is some great discussion, but a good place to take a break. So when we come back, we're going to have more from the mentors and from Forager on how to change agriculture in Maine and beyond. So don't go away. Stay with us.
Handmade carpets for Greenlight Maine have been provided by Mugalian Rugs, area rugs from around the world.
As a leader in Maine and New England in providing integrated accounting, consulting, and tax services to clients large and small, the team at MacPage has proven to provide innovative solutions to help us better meet our clients' needs. We enjoy the people we serve and care about the work we do. The success of our business is based upon our ability to develop quality relationships, one client at a time. MacPage. Accessible, approachable, accountable.
In 1972, Tom Moser committed his life's work to craft, and 4 decades later employs 70 fine craftsmen and women in our shop in Auburn, Maine. With showrooms and customers from coast to coast and numerous awards and accolades, Tom has firmly established himself as an entrepreneurial tour de force and has proven that a life doing what you love is indeed possible.
This year's winner of Greenlight Maine will win this handmade Thomas Moser beacon box and $100,000.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. We are having a great discussion for Forager in the mentoring round of competition. So let's kick this off because we're in deep here. Any thoughts, Christy, on David?
Sure. I was actually interested that for right now, your target customers, by going through the grocer to then get to the farmers, have you had any attempts or looked into starting with farmers and going the opposite direction?
Yeah, we've had some, it's also a really good question. We've had some debate about that. And my instincts are follow the money. You know, they're the ones that buy from the farmers. They're the ones that write the checks. And we don't have the resources, so, but we've debated it.
You mentioned some research initially and collecting that data. Have you considered working with USDA and maybe the Small Business Innovation Research grants and leveraging your technology platform as a way to not only get the word out, but also to raise some non-dilutive capital to help fund the business?
Good thought, Brian. So we have applied for, one USDA grant quite a while ago. We didn't get it. We've applied for another SBIR/USDA grant, fairly large one. So we've done some of that. There's probably more opportunity there. So if you have ideas, we'd certainly welcome them, Brian.
Sure.
David, I'm curious, so the grocers are working with their established network of providers. Are you working with the grocers to find out how maybe collectively you can reach out to more providers? Are there barriers that they have to getting more producers on board? Is it a matter of more publicity? Maybe even some meetings with some of the providers to bring more on board so that you get more participation?
Yeah, those are good thoughts, Jamie. So, and this is part of the challenge, right? So if we have a grocer or produce buyer who's really enthusiastic about what we're doing and really gets the mission and the benefits, they're going to be a little bit more overt and proactive. When we did our betas last summer, 2 summers ago, we invited the 2 grocers in Portland, helped us invite farmers. We had about 29 farmers come in the winter. We had a pretty good response. We got about 80% of them eventually to participate. We've had a challenge in Vermont with our largest. They're very happy, but their complaint is we don't have enough of our farmers on the platform. So we're sponsoring an event in Burlington in about 4 weeks to do the same.
So it sounds like you're starting to get the word out there. You just need more of this happening and more resources to work with you to push you through.
Correct.
I think this might be a good time to introduce our mentors and reveal who you are, because you do have a great source of resources here. So Christy, why don't you tell us?
I'm Christy Abraham. I'm a business attorney at Pretty Flaherty in Portland.
Great.
I do commercial transactions of all natures with small business owners in Maine and throughout the country.
Terrific, Christy.
I'm Dr. Brian Walton. I'm the director of the Center for Family Business at Hudson University.
Cool.
And I'm a corporate tax attorney by trade and also a computer nerd.
Come and help us.
Absolutely.
I'm Jamie Logan. I'm a Governor's Account Executive for the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development. And I work with businesses in 5 counties in Maine to find out what their needs are and then help connect them with the resources that can help them.
Jamie, thank you.
You're welcome.
If you can help us, we would be
Happy
very
to.
grateful.
Happy to.
Yeah.
Count on me.
Thank you.
So 3 great resources here. I mean, what do you think? You have any particular question for any one of them?
Well, I have questions for all of them. I don't know.
So where to begin,
So,
right?
Jamie, which counties are you working with?
I work in Lincoln, Knox, Waldo, Penobscot, and Piscataquis counties.
Okay, we have some customers in Lincoln. I don't know. I'd have to spend some more time. So, love to hear your thoughts on how. I mean, frankly, our biggest need is resources. That's the number one challenge we have. So you have a very interesting, multi-talented background, Brian.
I don't sleep much, but I love what I do. And one of the things about what you were describing of your platform is the algorithm. And one of the things I think might be an opportunity for you is becoming the Better Business Bureau of agricultural sourcing. So in the procurement and sourcing process, basically being the honest broker. So when people are not just looking for their inventory tracking, but also the quality, so doing QA, QC of the products that are out there and helping people identify what the best resources are in the best regions throughout the country and having like a badging system to get people more involved.
I hate to cut you off. We're going to take a quick break and take a look back at one of our previous contestants who's gone on to bigger and better things. Here's Marty's Minutes with Team AR. We'll be right back.
Marty's Minutes brought to you by the Maine Venture Fund and Maine Technology Institute.
So we're here in the offices of Team Augmented Reality in Bath with CEO and founder Chuck Benton. Chuck, what's been going on since you were on Greenlight Maine?
Well, when I was on Greenlight Maine last time, I had the biggest problem that I had at that point was getting national coverage for the Boundary Viewer product.
Which means access to data?
Access to data, basically parcel data or boundary property lines, all that sort of stuff. And I'd found a company in California that I had just entered into an agreement with to get that content. I also was participating in the Top Gun program, MECD's Top Gun program, and they have a pitch-off at the end of that program where there's a $10,000 cash prize, and Microsoft bellied up to the bar with a $120,000 in-kind prize, which I ended up winning. So all of
Congratulations. That's amazing.
So all the data that I have stored on the cloud right now is being covered by that prize money. It's not cash that I can use, but it certainly lowers my overhead costs.
So the product overall, who's a classic customer for it?
Classic customer are real estate agents, and something that I hadn't really expected was individual owners, just trying to figure out where their property lines are.
But an individual homeowner or a real estate agent could overlay essentially the map or the view of the property with where the boundary lines are?
Yes, and looking through the camera of their smartphone, they can actually see where the lines are and walk the property line. I had one customer that wanted to put a path around the perimeter of her property line, and this was a real easy way.
I love it. Another Maine success story. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks, Chuck. Well, we're so proud of you for everything you've done with this business. You've grown it. You've pivoted along the way. Give us a Greenlight Maine high five.
Thanks. Furniture for Greenlight Maine is provided by Thomas Mosier Furniture, handmade American furniture since 1972.
Are you trying to increase sales? At Dream Local Digital, we've been helping businesses using Facebook, Google, and other online tools for over 8 years. We're experts at helping small businesses because we work with them nationwide.
At Horch Roofing, we pride ourselves on doing quality roofs, not social media and direct marketing. That's why we hire the professionals at Dream Local.
We'd love to help you grow your business as well. Give us a call today.
Thomas College believes in innovation. From the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation and our Center for Innovation in Education to 3-year undergraduate degrees and accelerated graduate programs in business, cybersecurity, and criminology, innovation is in our DNA. Money Magazine ranks Thomas 23rd in the nation for value, and our Guaranteed Job program backs that up. Thomas College, personal, practical, guaranteed.
Thomas College is a proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
Are you an entrepreneur? Do you have a new business or a great new product? Greenlight Maine is now accepting submissions for Season 4. Visit our website for more information.
When starting out my business, Oysters, I was awash in legal questions and concerns. But the Pretty Flaherty team made sure that Oysters is built on a strong legal foundation, so I can focus on serving the best Maine oysters anywhere, anytime.
At Pretty Flaherty, we partner with our clients to pursue innovation. Our business group is passionate about providing strategic legal guidance to entrepreneurs like Lucas through every stage of business development.
Pretty Flaherty is a proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine. Broadcast facilities provided by NESCOM, the New England School of Communications at Husson University.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Since I cut you off, Brian, I'm going to have closing thoughts start with you.
Sure. People tend to do things from inspiration or desperation. So if you have the farmers that are not in a desperate situation yet, so they need something to inspire them. So maybe an incentive program, maybe offering rebates. So if they're working with suppliers and grocers, maybe there's a rebate for those who use the platform within a certain period of time or do a certain number of order purchases. That might be a way to start attracting more people into the platform.
I was thinking that one of the easiest things you can do is making it a package, a simple package to deliver to your farmers, to deliver to your grocers, making it as simple as, looking at a sample, saying this is how I can help you, here's all you need to know in sort of a concise one package to make it as easy as possible for your customers.
Also, so you've had a lot of pre-press about what you're doing, and you're having good results. So maybe it's time to start telling the story about those results, because some people that may be reticent to jump on board early on, maybe ones that will come on board once they know that it's working for other people.
Great feedback.
Really good
What's
feedback.
your takeaway? What are you going to do from here?
Well, I'm going to see if I can get some help from these three very experienced and talented individuals that have a lot to offer.
Absolutely.
And if they're willing to help, we're on a mission, and we want to help bring back independent farms and take the good fight against big industrial agriculture, eat healthier, and care for our environment.
Absolutely. Great cause. You're fulfilling a need. We wish you all the best. Congratulations on being here.
Thank you.
And good luck with the next round. And we hope to, I'm sure we'll see you again. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate and thank you for your feedback. If you haven't yet, visit us on the web at greenlightmaine.com and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll see you right back here next week for more Greenlight Maine. Have a great night.
Greenlight Maine has been brought to you by Pretty Flaherty, willing to think differently. Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.